The hitboxes on people's heads have never been more generous. It has never been easier, and I'm not kidding, to one-shot headshot someone with a sniper rifle easily, at any range than right now. We're live, boys and girls. Welcome to Dropshot, Call of Duty Podcast special episode number 412. And we got a big one for you today, ladies, B's and G's.
412, huh?
512, which is obviously what I said. Welcome to the show. My name is Casey, aka Razinon. I am joined by Tanner.
Yeah.
Who is moving this weekend, or doing the bulk of it, I guess, or starting it. I don't know.
Starting it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard because the people are coming tomorrow to install all of our window shades, so they'll be in the way for hours. But you know, I'm gonna start moving stuff over as soon as this pod ends. Actually.
Okay. So yeah, welcome to the show. Today we got a fun and exciting ep in store for you. This is going to be the only ep this week, but it is going to be a very long, fun, in-depth, and helpful one, kind of to compensate for that. We will have some other announcements. Stick around to the end of the show. But we want to kind of dive right in because there is a ton to talk about. Because today what we're doing is all about Warzone. We have not done this episode in years, but the last time we did it, and the first time we did it, it was overwhelmingly positive feedback. And now that we have a new map with a ton of new mechanics, it is high time to do it again. So we spent about 90 minutes on the notes for this. So that should give you some sense of the depth we will go into here. So before that, very quickly, going to get the patch notes out of the way. As we predicted, there were not many. This was on the 8th. This is the only patch. Well, and the 7th, actually. Those were the two patches. The only ones really worth talking about are, number one, they supposedly made the Terminator skin more visible. Looks identical. So if you were frustrated at that and then you got happy, stay frustrated because it is no easier to see. I can't even tell the difference. I'm not kidding. In a side-by-side comparison. So cool. They've also removed the DM10, Sarkov, and SVD as ground loot and supply box loot on Big Map, which is very welcome because those were by far the most common guns. And if someone finds a SOG in Superstore and all you find are 8 DM10s, you're kind of chicken gibbled. So that's been nice, but there's still more work to be done on the ground loot front for sure. And then a couple of bug fixes that we don't really need to cover. So main thing there, removing those things from the ground loot was nice. All right, so now right into the topic, all about Warzone. What is that? Well, this is meant to be a comprehensive guide to how to play BR, Big Map.
Warzone. We
are trying to be as comprehensive as possible, but we will undoubtedly miss some things we probably should say because it is a big, complicated game to do exceptionally well at. So what we've done is wrote down some like basic tips and settings you should have. A lot of you guys are going to have some dog shit settings, so we'll clear that right the fuck up. How your loadout should look, and then strats for the early game, the mid game, and the late game, and then a couple other miscellaneous tips. That is the syllabus here. And again, who is this for? Pretty much everyone. I mean, mostly the people who are going to get the most utility out of this are going to be shitter fucks. Yeah. So if you're like a casual or if you are, I don't know.
You've been playing Resurgence for the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, that'll be good for you too.
Many of you in our Discord even would just only played Resurgence, and now they're all back on Verdansk. So some people maybe kind of forgot what to do with the meta stratus.
Yep. And also for those of you with poor memories who did play Verdansk but kind of forgot what you should be doing, or those of you who never played on Verdansk, your only big map BR experience is unfortunately fucking, I don't know, Maz or Caldera and Beyond, or Maz and Beyond, or Urzikstan and Beyond. So even if you're quite good though, hopefully there is something in here, there almost certainly will be, that either will be helpful to you or will at least be something to consider and think about. And even if you disagree with some of this stuff, whatever, again, even if you're really good, I think this can at least give you something to think about doing. So, and at the least, be entertaining. So, starting off with the basic tips and settings. We have a lot here, and these are in no particular order. And so we're just going to kind of go through them. First of all, if you're on controller, there are settings called dead zone. It's basically to counteract stick drift. So I'm not going to explain exactly what dead zone means, but what I will say is, for your left stick, the one that moves your character, set your maximum dead zone to 65 instead of the default, which is 100. What this means is, if you move your left stick 65% of the way toward the edge of your, I don't know, how far your stick can move, the game will think you have jammed your left stick as far as it can go. Meaning, you hit full speed movement much sooner. In fact, 35% sooner. So this will, if you're like dead sliding a lot, this can probably help you because you're going to be moving full speed sooner than you were before. Don't go too much lower than 65 because you do want to be able to move it a tiny bit and like walk so that you like can peek a ledge and not jump over. But 65 is what a lot of like pros use, and that's a good one. It'll help you with not dead sliding, and you'll just move faster. You can go from 0 to 100 35% sooner. So that's a good one. Not really much else to say on that. If you want other dead zone settings, go on YouTube and say like best dead zone settings. They can explain what dead zone is. It's basically to counteract stick drift. So if your stick auto moves a little bit, you set your minimum dead zone to like 3 or as low as you can without any stick drift happening. And then max for your right stick should always be 100. And the minimum is the lowest number you can get without stick drift. So there you go. Next basic setting, parachute auto deploy. Turn that shit off. This is a bad setting. If you have it on, your character will just deploy their parachute way sooner than you need to, meaning you don't hit the ground as quickly as you otherwise could. And there is literally no advantage to this other than not breaking your legs sometimes, or if you're like AFK and drop out of the plane. That's literally the only thing this helps with. You never want to take agency away from yourself, with one exception being aim assist, which we'll get into. So turn this shit off, because then you can pull your shoot later so that you hit the ground sooner than you otherwise would. And then you can like turn around and start looting or shoot the guy who has auto deploy on, whatever. This is just bad news. Especially if you like, yeah, this is bad. So just turn it off. And then you might break your legs a couple times if you've been playing with this on and just relying on it. You'll figure it out. You'll get used to it. And in the long run, it's going to help you tremendously. So turn that shit off. Next is field of view. We all have field of view sliders now, right? Maybe those of you on PlayStation 1 still don't. I don't know what consoles this game can fucking run. So if you have an FOV If you don't have an FOV slider, sell your machine and buy a newer one. That's tip number one. Once you have a machine that has an FOV slider, in my opinion, this should just be at 120, which is the maximum. You get more peripheral vision. You can see people. You know, maybe you see a glint on the edge of your screen, whereas if you were at 90 FOV, you wouldn't see that glint, and then you've been sniped. I mean, just getting more, being able to see more of the Warzone at one time, at all times, it's obviously a good thing. You could do like 115 plus, and I think you're okay. There are some people like CDL pros or whatever. I think their FOV is like 107 because that's the highest you can go while having max aim assist supposedly. I don't believe that that's true. And even if it is, that trade-off I do not think is worth it. Your aim assist absolutely still works at 120 FOV. Fucking trust me. And lowering it by 13 degrees to maybe be getting extra aim assist that isn't real is not worth it at all. And then at that point, why have it 115 instead of 120? The advantage is maybe you can see things a little farther away, a little more easily because you've collapsed your field of view, so you have more detail. Things are wider. But I don't think it's worth it, and I think you should just be doing 120. What do you think?
I play at 115. I think honestly for Verdansk, 110 to 115. Because with the way people blend into bushes and things like that in front of you, I think actually having a slightly lower field of view is probably better. I haven't played 120 in Warzone in like 3 years. I think that's too high personally. So I either run like 112 or 115, but I was thinking about going down to like 110 or so just to see how it felt. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because yeah, things just blend into the trees and everything like that.
That is true. Yeah.
On like Urzikstan, Rebirth, things like that, 120 made sense, I think. Especially if you just play Resurgence. But for Verdansk, yeah, people blend in more than what we've been used to for a little while now. So I think a higher field of view, you're just going to miss a lot of things directly in front of you to maybe sometimes see one guy right on the edge of your screen, which honestly doesn't happen that often. So I would say 115 at the most for me.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing I think one thing we do agree on is don't be default FOV. I don't know what that number is. I think it's 80. That's terrible.
Yeah, I think it's 90.
Okay.
It's
That's
still way
terrible
too low,
news.
whatever it is.
Whatever that is, raise it by a lot. And yeah, again, I think 120 is just better. One thing you could do is raise it to 120, and if you find yourself dying to people right in front of you you don't see, then lower it. Try 115 and then try 110 if it happens again, whatever. But the only advantage to lowering it is to see people who are on your screen that you're not currently seeing at your current FOV. So start high, lower it as needed. And there you go. So next is turn off motion blur, turn off weapon motion blur, turn off world motion blur. Fucking obviously. This shouldn't need to be explained any more than that, but if you have those things on, or if you're not sure if you have those things on, go into your settings and make sure they're off. By the way, you should always be doing this for every video game. Open the video game, immediately go through every single setting.
Yeah, we need to start having that default off. Yes. All games default this on, and nobody... Okay, if it's a single player only game, fine. But a game like Call of Duty, all of these things, all of those settings should be defaulted to off. It just, yeah, it's really, really dumb that all of that is on when the first time you load up an online Call of Duty game. It's just very dumb.
That's arcade
change
style.
That, game devs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, weapon or there's a setting that's like player camera movement. I think the default, there are 3 settings. It's like 100%, 75%, and 50%, like less camera movement, normal camera movement,
least or whatever is the one you want.
Whatever that setting is called, there's something to do with movement. Set it to least. It kind of has to do with like head bobbing and things like that. So when you're sprinting, your view will just go up and down if it's at 100%. So the lowest you can go is 50%. Changes to that.
Yes, 100%. And then there's also another setting called depth of field. Turn that shit off also. I don't know what it does exactly. I just know it makes the game less clear.
It kind of blurs out everything as you aim down sight. So like your gun model gets blurred. I didn't think it actually blurs the screen itself, but maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't played a depth of field on a video game in 10 years, so I don't really know.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely turn it off.
Yeah, turn that off, obviously. Next, there's another setting called inverted flashbang. This doesn't really matter that much, but you should turn it on so that you don't get flashbanged IRL. Because with this setting off and you get flashed, your whole screen goes bright white, which is just annoying. You can turn on a setting called inverted flashbang. Your screen will instead go all black. So it's not going to help you. This isn't going to help you see better, but it'll hurt your eyes less. So I would turn that on. Not a big deal though. There's another one called reduced tinnitus sound as an option. Turn this on. I don't know exactly what it does, but I think it reduces the amount of time that when you do get flashed or stunned, you have that fucking ringing noise. Or the ringing noise is just the same duration, but it's less intense. So you can maybe hear things a little better through it. No matter the reason, turn this on. You want to reduce tinnitus sound. Why would you want that? Another thing, when you go into like your video settings or whatever, we're absolutely not going through every setting in like quality in your graphics tab, but make sure that you basically lower all of your settings so that you get more frames per second. Independently of your refresh rate, you want to max your FPS. And independently of your FPS, you want to max your refresh rate. So also while you're here, make sure your resolution is on whatever your max resolution is. So if you have a 1920 monitor, make sure your resolution is that, and make sure your refresh rate is whatever your monitor is, 120, 240, etc. If it's not, or if that setting isn't there, congratulations, dumb shit. Your refresh rate has been lower than it should be for probably years. So exit the game, go to your monitor settings, and then find the refresh rate drop down, set the highest one, big number, good, then relaunch the game and also do that in the video game. So max resolution, max refresh rate, but quality settings like, fucking tessellation and color sprays, turn that shit off. So then you get max FPS at maximum resolution and refresh rate so that you're getting the most FPS possible, which makes it easier to see and fight people. Mostly easier to fight people, actually, but max resolution so that it's easier to see people because you get all the pixels that you've paid for with your monitor. And if you want a very in-depth settings guide for max FPS, there's a guy named Freethy on YouTube who does excellent videos on this. The last time I did his little optimizer, I got like 50 extra frames, which is a fucking ton, by the way. Without changing hardware, you're not getting 50 frames very easily. So go look up a Freethy optimization video. He probably has a new one for Warzone right now.
I was going to say, it's good timing because I saw he put one out yesterday and he does have one yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, just posted it. Cool.
You will almost guaranteed earn some frames by doing that. Yeah. He has really good videos, so shout out to him. Next is wear a fucking headset. Obviously. So don't play on speakers. Don't play on your surround sound speakers. Oh, but it's cool and it's immersive. That's cool, man. But you're going to get a noise complaint from all the precision airstrikes on your 7.1 surround system in your living room, first of all.
Yeah.
That's an ordinance violation for sure. And it's also way harder to hear people. Specifically footsteps. Specifically Verdansk footsteps. Not because the audio is bad, the audio is quite good, but because players scarcely move their characters. So you really want a headset on. Number one, to hear things you probably wouldn't with speakers. But number two, and more importantly, to be able to very precisely know where they are. So someone's running around to your left and you have speakers playing. It's probably not going to be quite as obvious to you that they're on your left. Whereas if you have a headset on, it's super, super fucking obvious. Yeah. To get a headset, you could go crazy and get some fucking super audiophile headset or whatever. That is the play if you really want to get the best audio experience. But any headset is going to be better than speakers of any stripe. So just get one. Basically any kind. That's another thing. Next, if you're on controller, get a controller with paddles or buttons on the back, whatever, so that you can slide cancel easily. At a minimum, you need to have a controller with 2 back buttons or paddles. I will call them paddles from here on out. The one on the left should be your slide paddle. The one on your right should be your jump paddle. This way, you can slide, cancel, or jump shoot a corner or whatever without having to take your right thumb off of your stick. So you can keep aiming while you're sliding or jumping or whatever. The old school way around this was to play claw. When I first got a controller recently, I didn't even attempt to play this way. I held my controller that way and I said, fuck no. This is so unnatural and shit feeling. I can't do it. Now playing claw, but you might think like, oh, well, Biffle plays claw, shouldn't I? He's the best ever. No, because Biffle's been playing since he was 3 years old when there weren't controllers with paddles. If he just started today, he would be playing on a controller with paddles. Now that there are paddles, there is no reason to play claw. And supposedly it's worse for your hands. So if you're like just starting out, don't fucking learn to play claw. If you're already playing claw, I would not recommend you change it. But if you play like standard and you don't have paddles, get a fucking controller with paddles. If you want to get like a cheap one that's pretty good, I think the brand is called Power A. They have pretty solid rollers with like 4 back buttons, paddles. If you want to get crazy and get the Rolls Royce, one route is the Scuff, which in my opinion, and from what I've heard, miserable dog shit brand where it'll be perfect until it breaks. Just like a Razer product, it's awesome until it stops working, which will be soon. So don't get a Scuff, in my opinion. You should get FlyDigi Apex 4. This is a perfect controller. It has every feature you could want. I've owned mine for about a year or so, and I've had, and I'm not kidding, literally 0 issues ever. Not once. I've never even been inconvenienced by it. It's the perfect piece of hardware. It's made by the Chinese, so there might be a tariff on it right now, so you're going to spend $2,000. But if you can get your hands on one, this is the best controller. It has everything you want. It's got the 4 paddles out the back, and you can bind those paddles, some of them, all of them if you wanted, to things other than controller buttons. So for example, I have A and B, so jump and slide on my back. But then the other 2, one of them I have keyboard button 4, which in my game is my button to press plates on keyboard and mouse. But it still works even if your input method is controller. So I tap that button, I immediately start plating, rather than having to hold a paddle or hold Y and incur that slight delay before I start plating. This is quite nice. You can do it for pull out dedicated melee weapon as well, which is what I do. Instead of holding my melee button down, I tap my 4th paddle and it instantly comes out, no delay required. These are things controllers normally literally cannot do. So that's one of many reasons why I would recommend that one. It also has stick tension that you can like adjust, which is very cool. Max tension on the right, minimum tension on the left, if you get one. But you, regardless, have paddles or back buttons. Because if you can't slide cancel while aiming and moving, you're fucked. You're just not going to do well. There's no way around it other than learning to play claw, which is going to turn you off. It's not worth it at all. So just get a controller with paddles, honestly. So anyway, back to everyone. Plate behavior. There is a setting where you can apply plates one by one when you press your plate button, or apply all, insert all when you press your button. Turn on the insert all option so that you press it once and then you'll start inserting plates until you're fully plated or you're out of plates. Fewer inputs required, obviously better. So yeah. Next, this is for rollers as well. There's a setting called auto grounded mantle. You should turn this on so that you can easily climb into and out of windows. But if you do that, you should turn mantle interrupts reload and or mantle interrupts plating off. That way you can still hop into a window while you're plating or reloading and it won't interrupt that by mantling you. But when you're not doing that, it's very easy to mantle into windows and you don't have to get it like pixel perfect. This is another good setting for you guys. For KBAM, it's very easy to mantle into things, so you can leave auto grounded mantle off, and I would still leave mantle interrupts plating and reload off as well, because you don't want to be reloading and then try and duck into a window and you're like almost done with your reload and now it's gone because your character wanted to mantle and you're fucked, because then the guy comes in through the back. You otherwise would have been reloaded, ready to chow. You're not now, you're dead. So yeah. Back to roller. You should be on hybrid, slide, and dive behavior. But it feels weird. Get used to it. Get used to it. Because it's the best. Wow. This is the only way you can instantly slide or instantly dive whenever you want. It is better than every other setting, because if you have slide only on, your slides will be equally responsive as hybrid, but you can't dive, which is more important now than ever, because there are a lot of rooftops on Verdansk where if I want to jump to the next rooftop, I have to dive off the roof and then pull the chute to make the jump. Otherwise, I can't jump from that rooftop to the next one. So you have to be able to dive. And then the other setting is dive only, which is obviously shit, because then you can't slide. So don't do that either, of course. So what are you left with? Hybrid. It takes a little getting used to, but it's very easy and it's worth it in the long run. This way you'll slide when you want, and then you'll dive. You just hold in your stick. Sensitivity. If you're on controller, a good sense is anywhere from like 1.3 to 1.7 probably is fine for horizontal and vertical. And your aim down sight multiplier, anywhere from 0.85 to 1.0. If you're anywhere in that range, you're good, and you match the sensitivity of like most other pros on controller. So if that still feels shit to you, I don't shoot like Biffle does. Yeah, skill issue. Like just copying their settings is not going to make you shoot as straight as them. But as long as your sense is somewhere in that range, it's fine. It's fine to change it around if you're somewhere in that range. But you, in my view, you should pick a sense, know that it's good enough, and then get used to it. Lock in and get used to it. You can change it, obviously, but just stay in the acceptable range that other people who are pros use. There's a reason they have that setting. If you're on KBAM, I'm a little more out of the loop on this, but what I recall, 1600 DPI, 3.5 in-game sense, again, is what most really good KBAM players are using for their sensitivity. Some of them go lower, a select number of them go higher, but if you're about there, lock in, get used to it. You're not going to be as good as Huskers, regardless. So, good luck. What is your sense, by the way? Do you know?
3.5 maybe? I don't know.
Around there?
Forever. Yeah, I have no clue. I think it's about 3.5 though.
Okay. Next. This should be incredibly obvious if you're on controller, but unfortunately, number one, I've learned I don't have any idea what the average player thinks. And number two, I have seen arguments to the contrary. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
However, if you're on controller, and this should be the most obvious thing in the world, have aim assist on, in parentheses, fucking obviously. It is the only reason controller is better than keyboard and mouse. If you don't have aim assist on, go play on KBAM. Or better yet, fucking turn it on, obviously. And don't say you play better without it. You don't. Don't say it makes you lose kills. Very occasionally, that will happen. You have a guy one shot, some other guy runs in between you, aim assist pulls you off the guy you have one shot onto the guy who just ran past, and then you lose the kill because you have aim assist on. That will happen one in every 1,000 gunfights, maybe. But what you're forgetting about when that happens is all the other gunfights you won fucking easily because you had AA on and didn't lose, which you would have if you didn't have aim assist on. So turn it on, obviously. Duh. And it bugs me that anyone has it off and unironically says they play better without it. Go play KBAM if you want to do that. There's no reason to do this.
Yeah, we hear that far too often still. It's a crazy thought to have because it's just so wrong. It's probably the most incorrect statement you can say about Call of Duty is that you play better with aim assist off. Trust me, you don't. Fuck you, not at all.
No one does. I mean, it's just completely insane. So, next. Supposedly dynamic response curve is the meta aim assist setting. I don't know why they even have settings. If your aim assist is on, you're good. Probably turn on dynamic because that's what other people use. But it probably doesn't matter as long as you have aim assist on, please God. So turn it on.
I thought they removed something like this year, didn't they? Didn't they remove one of those settings? They didn't remove the response curve. They removed the aim assist type. Got it. Okay.
Which was like Black Ops versus whatever Infinity War.
Yeah. Okay.
That shit's all fake anyway. As long as aim assist is on, you're good. But you should set dynamic because that's what everyone else does as well. Next, if you're on controller again, you should be using auto tactical sprint. You're just going to move faster this way. And it's going to be way less annoying, especially since you have unlimited tac sprint with your melee weapon out. I cannot imagine taking out my melee weapon and then holding in my left stick the entire time for the 20 minutes I'm rotating into zone. That would be fucking insane. So turn on auto tac sprint. You'll move faster. You'll start your slides sooner, so you'll dead slide less often. Just all around good stuff. And then last two little kind of settings tips, but not really. Play on a controller because of aim assist. I've been saying this for about a year now since I've been on controller. And unless you're genuinely a world-class aimer, which you would already know by now. So if you're not sure if that's you, it absolutely is not you. It's not even close to being you. If you think that's you, it probably also still isn't you. So, like, Rouston, maybe, our one listener who I would say maybe don't play on roller, but even he would do better, honestly. For everyone else listening, you will just play better on controller with aim assist on. Just for context, I played on KBAM for like 4 years, of Warzone specifically. My big map PR in that time was like 16 or 18 kills. I don't remember which. On literally day one of Verdansk season 3 on controller, having played for about a year on controller, so a quarter of the time, on day one, I got 16 kills. Like rather easily. It wasn't even a crazy game. I have so many other anecdotes.
I thought you beat it like a long time ago, or is that or is that Resurgence?
Oh, I also beat it a long time ago on... I got 24 on Urzikstan. I guess that counts too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you literally beat it like 2 weeks into using a controller or something.
Well, I dropped 30 on Vondel in 2 weeks. Which
okay.
is more kills than I've gotten in any Warzone mode ever on KBAM. Resurgence, big map, whatever. On Urzikstan, I broke my KBAM PR well inside of 3 months. Also, yeah. I was just kind of trying to compare Verdansk to Verdansk, but you're right. I mean, yeah. So many smashings of records. Fucking easily. And I wasn't terrible at KBAM, but I obviously was not world class. So I benefited tremendously from switching. If you really insist on doing well, you should stop playing on KBAM. You will strictly do better every time. It's not close. And I hope that helps. Now, if you still have fun or you don't really care enough to like get more kills and fewer deaths, play on KBAM, obviously. But if what you care about is doing as well as you can, you should be playing on controller with aim assist on, obviously.
I insert the image of Benji going like 3-79 in his first game of shipment after you told him to swap from KBAM to controller.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
Was funny.
He didn't have paddles, and there is a learning curve. You'll do way worse on controller if you've never played on it, if you've been playing KBAM for years, obviously. I went through that too. But eventually you get used to it, and then you just do much fucking better. Like, easily, it's not close. If you insist on playing KBAM, though, now is literally a better time than ever to be on keyboard and mouse. I'm not joking. For big map Warzone. It still doesn't make it better than controller, but relative to every other moment of Warzone on KBAM, it is the best it's ever been now for 2 reasons. Number 1, sniping is quite good. HDR one-shots at any range. Number 2, which we've had before, so why is it better now? The hitboxes on people's heads have never been more generous. It has never been easier, and I'm not kidding, to one-shot headshot someone with a sniper rifle easily at any range than right now. And the biggest advantage KBAM has over controller with aim assist is sniping. It's still, in my opinion, fucking way easier to snipe on KBAM than it is on roller. And since the head hitboxes are so fucking generous, and will continue to be this entire year, you're in a decent spot if you're playing KBAM, if and only if you are sniping, because you will get a fuck ton of kills. I'm getting easy snipes on controller, and I've done it 8 times total. So if I was on KBAM, locked in, where I would be much better at sniping, oh, dude, field day. Because I will blatantly miss shots and get the headshot easily. Benji posted a clip and screenshot today. He shoots a guy in the solar plexus, gets a headshot. I've got it. It's never been easier to hit headshots. So if you insist on playing KBAM and you want to do as best as you can, you really should be sniping. You have no advantage using an AR over a controller. You have a lot of advantages using a sniper. Is that what you've been doing mostly?
Oh, yeah, I'd be doing it either way, but I don't know. All the super sweats have been nonstop complaining about how mouse and key feels in Season 3. I don't really know why, but they're all like, they've all lost their minds completely on the TL. Reeve, Metaphor, all of them, they've just completely lost it. I don't know. Reeve, especially, has fallen deep into a depression about it. But,
oh, no.
I mean, honestly, I agree with Jax. Warzone 3 KBAM felt better just because of the gunplay and everything. Less visual recoil, less muzzle smoke and all that. But just because sniping exists now, that's the only thing keeping me in it. Once they gut one-shot sniping, the game will probably feel terrible to me again. But it's just fun right now because sniping's considerably easier on KBAM, and it's not close. So
I'm not saying
close range gunfights and all that, not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true, but when has that not been true?
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you've literally always been disadvantaged up close on KBAM.
VO6 though it's the hardest it's been because of Omni movement.
Fucking Omni fucking movement, yeah.
But with the way Verdansk is designed and sniping being really good, yeah, that's very nice to have right now.
Yeah, so if you do exactly. So if you insist on playing on KBAM, I really think you should be sniping.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone should be sniping, basically.
Well, I honestly, yeah. It's very generous head hitboxes, so. And then one last tip on that point. If someone's sniping at you, keep in mind, they always hit it. They will always hit it. They're always the best on earth. They will always hit it, okay? So if you have one smoke left and you're like, man, I want to save this smoke for late game, so I'm going to like do one last slide to cover while this guy's trying to snipe at me so that I can preserve this smoke grenade. Don't. They will hit it. I promise you, they will hit it, and then you saving that smoke won't matter. Throw the fucking smoke and then worry about that later when you're behind cover not being looked at by a sniper because, and I can't stress it enough, they will always hit it. Doesn't matter. They will always hit it. So be very careful. Keep that in mind. All right. So that's like settings, basic tips on that shit. Again, we could have forgotten some things. I'm sure we did, but those are the ones those are a lot of very important ones. If you do all that, you're already in a good spot. So keep that in mind. Today's episode is brought to you by our Patreon, where you won't hear ads like this. And we give bonus episodes every month, 3 of them. You also get the public feed, ad-free, as I just said, and early access as well. Normally, that starts at just $5 a month at the gold tier, which is the most bang for your buck. You get all that stuff I just mentioned, 3 Call of Duty bonus eps a month, and you could go above and beyond if you wanted a Q&A and behind the scenes ep or a hangout every month with Tanner and I. This month, we're getting Verdansk, obviously, or we already have it when you're hearing this. And so what we've decided to do is starting on the 11th of April through till the end of the month, we're offering free trials for the gold tier. That way you can risk-free get a feel for what the Patreon's like, enjoy the ad-free eps, and I think most importantly for this month, especially with Verdansk and all the other changes we're getting, the bonus episodes, because there's going to be a ton of strategy and impressions and tips and all that stuff to talk about starting this month. So this would be a great time for you to check out the Patreon, check out the bonus episodes, see if you enjoy that content, and then if you do, you can sign up. It's only $5 for the cheapest tier, and that gives you all the Call of Duty bonus content we offer. Again, you also get ad-free and early access on the public episodes, no ads on the bonus episodes either, obviously. So if you wanted to check that out, go to patreon.com/thedropshot. Probably wait till the 11th unless you really want to support us, because that way you can do the free trial. And the Patreon is the best way you guys can and do support the show. It's where we make the bulk of our income. So it's incredibly important and appreciated. Thanks, W Verdansk, hopefully. Let's get back to the show. So now into the loadout. What should your loadout look like? We'll start with the most important thing, which is going to be what guns you're running. As we've been stressing, the CAR 98 and the HDR for sniping, if you want to do that, are both great, excellent options. The advantage of the CAR is that it has a way faster refire rate and a pretty sure a faster, virtually certainly a faster ADS time as well as like, you know, faster movement speed with it, so you can slide cancel with it more easily. Probably faster sprint to fire, that probably doesn't matter. Faster ADS speed, which I just said. Downside of it is less bullet velocity, and you don't have an infinite one-shot range. So this depends on your play style, but you know, like if I were to snipe, I should probably be using a CAR, because my teammates are chimpanzees and they're just always pushing everyone. So we're never like chilling on a rooftop. I'm always moving and I'm always going to be inside a car's one-shot range, so I might as well be using that. But, you know, if your team is relaxed or whatever, or you're playing solo and you want to like sit on the strongest roof ever, definitely use the HDR. Way more velocity. It's probably, well, it's way easier to hit shots far away with an HDR because of that velocity. And yeah, you can one-shot at any range. So,
it's also good fast. Options. It doesn't feel like a heavy sniper at all. It's obviously a little bit slower than the car, but that's also why it's so busted right now. Is it the handling, the ADS time? It's too fast. You can also get fairly low idle sway with it when you put on that. I think it's the lightweight bipod helps with aim stability. It helps a decent amount too. So
it does help more than you think.
Yeah. I don't really see a reason to run the car right now. Once the HDR gets nerfed, I can see it, but I mean, for like Pie Man, when you're just using it as an SMG and like no scoping kids, yeah, but HDR is just way too good and easy to use and fast to be using a car right now, in my opinion. Because yeah, like you said, I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, everyone always hits their shots.
Yep.
I guess they don't really have much aim assist with it, but I mean, even controller players are insane with it, so I would definitely use the HDR.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't used the car besides the groundlit ones in a while, so to be fair. So maybe they're not as good as I think they are, but I don't know, that's my assessment. Either way, I think you're good, but yeah, I haven't been using the car because it's old. Like, HDR is new, I've been using that, and it handles better than you'd think, for sure.
Oh, yeah, a lot better.
So, if you're not sniping, you have a couple options. The AMAX, the Grau, and the Kilo are all, in my opinion, pretty solid. AMAX has the fastest time to kill on paper by a lot. It is the fastest on paper TTK you can get with a gun that you can reasonably shoot people at far away. So if that's what you're going for, use the AMAX. However, probably you want to use a compensator with it because it's got enough kick to where I feel like I need it. Some people go, monolithic suppressor with it, but you got to be quite good at your recoil control to do that, or you got to be getting quite close to people to get away with that, in my opinion. Kilo is the exact opposite. I mean, you'll never miss. It doesn't move at all. But its time to kill is slower. So like, if you're in a heads up gunfight with no cover against an AMAX at 20 meters, you're going to hit all your shots with the Kilo fucking easily. But in that scenario, AMAX is also hitting all its shots pretty easily. So you're going to get run over very easily. And it won't be close. So you will just die in heads up gunfights to an AMAX. However, the upside is if someone's on like a nasty heady, your time to kill with a Kilo is going to be way faster than an AMAX because you're not going to miss a bullet. Yeah. Whereas if you're using an AMAX, you're probably going to miss a couple. They get behind cover or whatever. Or, if you're shooting people very far away, you're going to be able to land a lot more shots with a Kilo than an AMAX. Especially if your teammate is sniping. Kilo's really good because they might get them to like 50 HP or like 1 HP. Then it doesn't matter how much damage your gun does. You just need to touch them with it and they'll go down. So Kilo's really good for that. And you can easily use a silencer. So if you want to stay quiet and still control the gun. And then for a combo meal, you could get the Grau. Less recoil than the AMAX, but not as little as the Kilo. Faster time to kill than the Kilo, but not as much as the AMAX. Just a nice middle ground. Very solid gun. You do lose an attachment slot where 2 attachment slots, which are the fire mod, which is what you put the Grau conversion kit on the SWAT to do. And then the barrel. So you're also losing a lot of velocity. That's the big downside of the Grau. Your max velocity is what it is. You can't change it. Because you can put a monolithic suppressor on to get a little bit more. But you can't put on a barrel, you can't put on overpressured rounds. However, It's still quite good. It's good enough velocity, I think, most of the time. And it's a nice little middle ground. Secondaries on, well, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I've only been sniping, so I've rarely used a full auto primary at all. The one I've used the most is the Kilo, and it feels fine, yeah. But it kind of surprises me because a lot of the sweats, like Biffle, I know all the clips I've seen. Maybe the clips are just old by this point, but he uses a Growl 100% of the clips I've seen. So yeah, I think there's a good meta because then a lot of the streamers also they're using Amaxes. I think the Kilo is kind of the odd one out probably right now. I think Amax if you're higher skilled. Growl if you just want to hit all your shots basically, and then Kilo is I guess kind of the same thing. I'm not really sure. I haven't used them enough to have an opinion on them because yeah, I
saw Biffle using the Kilo as well. He dropped like 40, but
okay, yeah. I mean,
was also very early, and he's Biffle.
All the clips I'm seeing might be from like the first 2 days. Yeah, he might be using a different gun by now, but that's all I've seen.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I would say Growl or Amax.
Yeah.
Honestly, use the Amax. If it's got too much recoil for you, make sure you have compensator and recoil springs. If it still has too much recoil for you, make sure you're not using a zoom optic. If it still has too much recoil for you, use the Growl.
Yeah.
That would be my, and obviously a vertical foregrip. That would be my advice. Kilo's fun though, man. It just doesn't move at all. But yeah, you are losing that time to kill. So anyway, secondaries on the other hand, fairly wide open, I think. Right now, it is hard to tell what the consensus is on SMGs because all the sweats are just doing a double AR type beat. So they're using whatever, an AMAX, and then their secondary is like an SMG AK-74. Because this is an assault rifle, but it has a nuts time to kill, faster than all the subs, and I built one for my sniper support secondary, which is the only option if you're sniping, by the way. It's the AK. And it has surprising mobility. Like its sprint to fire and ADS speed are like SMG mobile. Maybe a tiny bit slower, but like it's definitely usable. So that's the meta right now for the sweaty players. And you could do that as well. However, couple things. This will likely be nerfed soon. If not soon, it will likely be nerfed. It'll certainly be nerfed by Season 3 Reloaded. So we're not going to be here very long because they don't like having double AR metas, and I don't either. Because it's also you're only running AR ammo, so if you get low on ammo, you can't shoot either gun. That's really bad news, and you go through it more quickly, obviously. So that kind of sucks. But that is like your best option right now. Besides that, if you don't want to do that, or when that gets nerfed, which it will, time to kill wise, compact I think is the best SMG, which is more usable than ever now for reasons we'll get into. Basically, you can run gunfighter on your SMG now. There's no downside to doing that because you can't buy guns anymore, so it doesn't affect the price of it. So that benefits a lot from that. PPSH probably as well, but in my opinion, C9 is still the best submachine gun. The time to kill is so fast that if you can just land all your shots, or more shots than the other guy, and you shoot first, most importantly, you'll win. And the C9 is just easy to do that with. It's just an easy to use gun. Yeah, exactly. And with the time to kill this fast, if you shoot first and you have a gun that you're comfortable with that's easy to use like the C9 is, you win every time.
Yeah.
So I would still recommend that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're sniping too, the secondary is just an AK. It's that simple, yeah. I just run an AK with irons. It's usable up to like, I don't know, 30, 40 meters. Even then, you can crack somebody with an HDR and then just pull out your AK real quick, pepper them a little bit. So that's the strat for sure. Don't run an SMG with your sniper right now. An AMAX maybe would be a good option as well, like an iron sight AMAX. But the AK just kills really, really fast up close. It's definitely going to be nerfed, so that's for sure the move right now. That was a fun combo to use, though. Takes me back to OG Verdansk with the Cold War AK. I guess not OG Verdansk, but
just
Cold
any
War AK,
sniper support AR
sniper
for sure.
Support gun, yeah,
yeah, for sure.
So that's
AMAX
nice.
probably won't be it, by the way, just because it's so slow. So if someone well, maybe it is. It depends on how you build it, I guess. Like with the 60 dumper, it's just way too slow to be sniper support. But you probably just wouldn't run the 60 dumper. I haven't experimented
with that, but I am a little shocked at how many people run the 60 over the 50. Are the cons not bad enough? I mean,
it's 45.
It almost seems like you would
60.
just run the 50. Oh, it's 45. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot more ammo then. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, the 60 it's fucking, you feel heavy with it. Yeah. You feel slow.
Huh.
So. But yeah, like maybe a 45 round AMAX sniper support will be the meta once the AK gets nerfed. We'll see.
Yeah.
My instinct is to say Growl would be even better because it'll handle faster, but I have no idea. We'd have to look at stats. But
you got to think of it almost more as an SMG, and the Growl's not going to kill fast enough up close.
Yeah, that could be true too. Exactly. So I don't know. We'll get into that once they nerf the AK, but this is all academic right now. So that's kind of the gun meta, honestly. You got a couple options, which is cool. So anyway, on to equipment. Tacticals. Luckily, it's just a smoke meta. Thank God, too.
Yeah, for the most part, that's what it seems like, huh?
Yeah. I am very pleased to report I am getting shock charged less often than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Though, to be clear, I'm not never seeing them. I have died to the shock charge blast trap combo meal, and it bothered. And guess where it was, Tanner? Guess where I died to a shock charge?
I think you posted on Discord.
Blast trap.
Yeah. Yep. Prom East stairwell.
It was a Prom East fucking stairwell. Little rat fuck. Oh, it bothered the fuck out of me. I hate them, and I hate Promenade.
Yeah. And to be super clear, shock charges and all that still should not be in the game, but I have been shocked at how little people have been running them.
Yes.
You don't see clips of it. It doesn't really happen to you that often, so that's good. And that's kind of just,
yeah.
The devs kind of got lucky, and it's just more because Verdansk is more open, so I think people realize the time to kill is faster, the movement's slightly slower, the map's a lot more open, so people are thinking, okay, I need smokes to cross these areas now if I don't have a vehicle. So
yes,
they got lucky, essentially, is what happened.
That's absolutely true. They are still shit devs, and there still should not be shock charges, obviously, in the game. But yeah, luckily, again, you just need to run smokes. So I tried running stims for first couple days. It can be good, but the reality was, I found, if you get shot first, you might have time to bang the stim, but it's delaying the inevitable. You're just dead. Like, the time to kill was just slow enough before, and you didn't need smokes also, to where, like, a stim could save your life, get you to cover, you could fully recover your health, and then re-challenge and win. Now, you're not even getting to that cover in that stim time. The time to kill is just too fast, you just die anyway. So, for that reason, stims are out. But more than that, smokes are just more important. They're going to save your life more often than stims. Because, like Tanner just said, way more open map. Again, time to kill is faster. So it's better to not get shot at all by smoking than it is to survive a little longer while being shot with stimming. The time to kill is just too fast for that to make sense. And the map's too open. And another thing on smokes, by the way, you can use them as a bait. So this is a smart thing to do. I've seen Jake do it a couple times. Let's say you're stuck behind a rock or whatever, I don't know, and you want to go right, and you have two smokes. Throw a smoke left, and then start running right. They're going to think you're going right, so they're going to be like pre-aiming that way. It's going to buy you a little bit of time. And then you can throw that second smoke a little deeper so you get more obscure value out of it because you're going to be exposed for a little while, but they're hopefully going to be pre-aiming your bait smoke. So then by the time they get back on you and realize you've duped them, you've deceived them, you're inside your second smoke cloud, which you were able to get farther away than if you just smoked there. Because also if they're running tracker, a bait smoke is good because if you just throw those 2 smokes to the right, if they land like 1 shot on you, they see exactly where you are. So you really want to just, Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of an advanced little tip, but you can use those bait smokes. And you can use them in other ways than that. Throw one left and right, don't move. Or like walk backwards. So they're like looking left and right while you're like running up and away over the hill. You know, there are a lot of ways you can do that, but regardless, the point is use smokes. For lethals, I think it's still just impact grenades.
Yep.
These are still just really good for all the reasons we talked about, months and months ago. By the way, I'm not joking. We were ahead of the meta on impacts. I swear to God,
you guys were. Yep. Nobody was running them when you guys started. I think it was Jake did it first.
I did it first.
Okay.
But you get instant value out of it. Like, it doesn't do as much damage as some others. It doesn't have as big of an impact or a blast radius as others, but you get instant value. So you throw it, you learn if someone's there or not, and also you get instant damage, instant value. They can't run away from the Semtex, whatever. And then, you peek a corner, throw it, unpeek it, they waste some ammo maybe shooting at you, you also crack their plates, slide challenge, dead. Dead. So use impacts probably. The interesting question, I think, is going to be, once thermites are unlocked, are we switching to that? Because I think I might be.
Once we get like repels and stuff, maybe, because now it's easy to just hold areas like a staircase with an impact too. So I don't know. Once people have a little bit more mobility, thermites might be better just to help with vehicles.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too.
But did you see that clip from that tournament? I don't know if it was the Twitch Rivals one of the Impact squad wipe.
No.
It was a team on the top of a Prom East building. They were holding, when you get to the very top, the staircase, you take that little ladder up, and there's that little area, on the roof. So all 3 of them were there holding an impact. No. The other team pushed up. They all threw their impact at the same time, immediately downed and squad wiped the whole team.
Wow.
They all just threw one impact, and that was it.
That's a little crazy, yeah.
Removed them from the game, yeah.
Yeah.
So those need to go, of course.
Yeah, probably. I love impacts.
Oh, they're fun to use. They shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I don't think they're nearly as bad as shock charges or anything. And you can punish people for using them if they throw them at a dumb time. Yeah. So they're not like totally unfair, but they're probably just too strong. Yeah, honestly. But anyway, while we got them, use them. And then I'm probably going to switch to thermites once they are usable or equipable in a loadout. You can pick them up right now. Because of the vehicles. Yeah. So now on to perks. Perk 1. Right now, I wrote Survivor, but I meant Scavenger. Scavenger, I think, is just the best perk 1 right now. The ground loot is just horrendous. There are no plates ever. You'll barely have plates with Scavenger. You will never have any without it. And when you get a kill, they drop like a little highlighted blue little... They say it's a bag. It doesn't look like that to me, but if you run the perk, you'll notice it when you get a kill. It's like a cyan sack. Blue sack of something, whatever. Run over that, you get a plate and or an extra plate. You get $1,500, and I think you get extra ammo and or equipment. Not sure about all of that, but you get an extra plate or plate at all. That's the main reason to run it, in my opinion, right now, since there are no plates on the ground. However, that bonus cash is really nice and adds up quickly, and you can buy a plate box with the extra cash you'll be getting also. So you could buy, in fact, almost anything. So once the ground loot is better and I don't have to worry so much about plates, Survivor is going to be the best again because of the passive health regen, but also the res speed. That's all. Both of those things, though, are less important than they were on Urzikstan. So maybe it will be Scavenger, even when the ground loot's good. I'm actually not sure. Because, like, I don't miss Survivor at all right now. Because on Urzikstan, there were often times where, like, my teammate has time to res me, or I have time to res myself if I have Survivor, but if I don't have it, he doesn't have time. That seemed to happen often. Whereas on Verdansk, it seems like I'm either fucking easily going to get this res off, or they're on me. There's no Survivor or not, I'm not getting resed. It feels very one or the other. Whereas on Urzikstan, it kind of didn't. I think it's because... I don't know. I think it's because there were more buildings. So someone was in like an opposite building on Urzikstan. They could get to you in time.
Oh yeah,
like,
just because there's
fast,
balloons, drones, all of that too.
Yeah, that too, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Huh. So this will also change in Season Reloaded when we get repels on buildings.
Yeah,
that
true.
makes Survivor stronger again. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not having to wait for that regen is the best part of it. It's so annoying to have to deal with that if you're not running quick fix. Like, you forget how bad it is.
It is really bad if you're not
there was something else. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is with PAs being not showing their flight path now. This has happened 2 times, I think, where I die on a roof. I mean, I guess these situations don't matter because I didn't have a self-res, but now since people can down you with a sniper and immediately call in a PA and you don't know where it's going to be, it's harder to, like with Survivor, you can get that quick self-res off if you have one and immediately get out of there. Just jump off the building or something. Whereas if you're not running it and you have that slower time to self-revive, you're not going to probably have enough time to get off that roof anymore, or basically, I mean, you don't know where to go.
Once
so you
the
don't
repels
know where the
are
flight
on,
path is
yeah,
gonna go.
true.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know though.
Yeah, we'll see. I
think for right now, you're probably right. Scavenger is what you should be running because of the plate situation.
Yes. Yeah. Mainly we're talking about right now. So right now, yeah, I think Scavenger is just easily the best option. And that leads into perk 2. I think you either want Tracker or Quick Fix. They're both quite good, but because you shouldn't be running Survivor, you probably really should be running Quick Fix so that you can get the instant health regen when you put in a plate. You're going to have more plates because of Scavenger, so you'll be able to do this most of the time. So you get the instant health regen, bypassing the need to have Survivor for that to be quicker. And since you're not running stims and you don't have Survivor, that is your only way to get health regen besides getting a down or a kill. So Quick Fix, well, actually, you would need Quick Fix for those to work also.
Yeah, yep.
So, yeah. So if you're not running Survivor, I feel like you kind of have to run Quick Fix. So run Quick Fix if you're not running Survivor, which you shouldn't be. That's kind of the logic. But again, Tracker would be really good right now also, because of it's a smoke meta and the map's way more open. So if you start getting shots on some guy and he smokes, if you have Tracker, you'll see him easily. Yeah. So again, once the plate situation's figured out, it's probably going to end up being Survivor Tracker, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Right now, it's Tracker for me. I mean, certainly if you're on K-BAM, definitely you should be running Tracker either way. Just getting that outline helps a ton with tracking. It's just something controller players, you just don't have to it's not as important. No matter what, you can get mad about
True.
that, but it's just the truth. It's just not
It's
as
obviously
important. You don't have to
true,
track people as well. So
Yep.
tracker getting that red outline helps a lot if you're on KBAM. And then lots of open space on this map. So being able to toss a smoke at your feet, see the red outlines of enemies when you start hitting them through the smoke, that's really, really strong. I've seen a lot of nasty clips from, I think Husker's had one. I'm pretty sure he got a squad wipe doing that. He killed 3 guys through smoke just tracking their outline like that.
Yeah.
So,
that's a report.
and I think for the average person listening to this, I don't think there's almost any benefit to most of them running quick fix. Because think about like how slow the average person plays, like a below average person on our Discord. They're not going to even be fast enough to plate up to start that quick fix health regen. So I think bottom line is quick fix is a higher skilled perk to become useful. And I just don't think the average person has that in them. Quick fix is insane if you're really good and very aggressive and you're pushing buildings and you're constantly in those close range fights against multiple people. It's definitely the best. But I think for the average person listening to us, most of you are not going to benefit that much from quick fix at all. Like right now, I think I would recommend even Quartermaster for the average player over something like quick fix. Just sit on your roof, be able to regen that equipment. Because just doing nothing. Because no portable buys, less munitions boxes. It makes that perk a lot more attractive, so you can sit in your little rat area and be regenning that equipment. So that's what I think is better for the average person. You should only be running quick fix if you're skilled, frankly.
Yeah, well, okay, so I agree sort of. If you're below average and you intend on just like sitting on roofs and going from roof to roof, which is valid, by the way, and I'd probably even recommend it if you're, well, I wouldn't and I would. If you want to do well, I'd recommend it. If you want to get better so you do well longer over time, I wouldn't recommend it because you don't get better sitting on a rooftop. But regardless, if you're going to just be sitting on a roof, yeah, you don't need quick fix or tracker nearly as much. Because another thing too, if you're shooting into smoke, you lose aim assist completely. That's another thing. So if you're lower skilled on controller, tracker is not going to help you shoot people in smokes because you're going to miss all of your shots.
That's boy, do they? Yeah.
I also miss all of my shots. So like tracker sort of helps me kind of if I can like get the lucky the god thumb movement, but like it's much harder to hit people in smoke because you don't have aim assist, even if you can see where they are. So the tracker, and that's the only time on controller that tracker's worth a fuck. Because otherwise, yeah, you really don't need the outline, like you said.
Yeah,
it's fine. You really only benefit from it if they're in smoke, and if they're in smoke and you're not good enough, you're not going to be hitting them anyway without aim assist. So probably don't run it. I think I agree with that a lot. But the quick fix thing, I think if you're not running Survivor, you still benefit a lot from quick fix, even if you're fucking ass, because you put in that one plate, you get the health regen, you get your audio back, you get your health back. So that's kind of the thing. Once you can drop Scavenger and pick up Survivor again, then yeah, you can easily get off quick fix and be okay. But that's just kind of my feeling right now. But
yeah,
a couple things to think about for you guys. And then perk 3, again, because of the plate situation, and notice I have to alter literally all 3 of my perks around the video game not dropping enough plates, right? My perk 1 is not the one I want to run because there aren't enough plates. My perk 2, I feel like I have to run to overcome me not being able to run the perk 1 that I want because there aren't enough plates. And then perk 3, guess what I'm running because there aren't enough plates? It's tempered. So all 3 of my perks, literally every perk I have is just a response to the lack of plates on the ground or anywhere on this map. So cool stuff, Activision. Cool stuff. I'm running 3 perks exclusively, not exclusive. I'd be running 2 of them anyways, to be fair. But I would recommend all 3 of them just because there aren't enough plates on the ground. It's tempered. Why? Because you can full plate with 2 plates instead of 3. And when there aren't that many plates on the map, that's extremely valuable. You can full plate 2.5 times instead of 1 2/3 times. which is a lot more, with 5 plates max. So tempered's really good because there aren't that many plates. And even if you have all the plates you could possibly want, you can only carry 5 or 8 instead of 8 or 12, I think is what it used to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So for those 2 reasons, tempered is nuts. In addition to that, tempered's also still good for all the reasons it's always been good, which is that you get to full plates much sooner. It takes less time to insert 2 than 3 plates, obviously. So that's really good as well. But like Tanner has been talking about a little bit, if you're a less skilled player, once we get in an environment where we have a ton of plates, tempered is a lot less valuable to you. Because the real value in tempered, outside of the conserving plates thing, which is why anyone, I think, should be running it right now, once we get enough plates, the real value of tempered is I peek an angle, I fuck some guy up, he fucks me up, I like unpeek, get 1 plate in, that's all I have time for, and then I like re-challenge him and start blasting, and I have 225 health instead of only, am I retarded? 200 health. Yes, I'm not retarded. So that's really good, but also if I'm low skill, I'm falling apart at this point. I'm dead. So like, it doesn't matter if I have tempered or not. I would rather be running ghosts so that I'm not even in this situation to begin with. So right now I think it's tempered because of the plate tariff in Verdansk right now. But after that, then it becomes an open question. I still think tempered is really, really good if you're high skill. Because again, it can help you like 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, depending on how good you are. And tempered is easily the difference between you being able to do that and not being able to do that. If you're good enough to do it at all, tempered can get you there. Because you get so much more value when you only have time to insert 1 plate or only have time to insert 2 plates in that like close quarters gunfight situation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I've noticed people running Ghost often, it seems like. So
yeah.
Your life matters more now, obviously, so people are trying to stay off that mini-map. There are more people running suppressors than last year, too, of course. Even like new players coming back that haven't played the game in a long time, they just still think the like suppressor is meta, so they're going to use it no matter what, basically. So
right.
And then that person is also running Ghost. So I think there are a lot of people running them right now, or it's just UAVs are buggy and just not showing people, which is also entirely possible.
Right.
But yeah, I'm running tempered, but we unfortunately might be getting a Ghost meta this year. Yeah. I think it's really starting to look that way. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm thinking the move might be then for us is to run Bird's Eye. Because with Bird's Eye, don't you see players ghosted every time you pop a UAV? Yeah.
Yes.
I think that might be the strat then, honestly.
Yes.
That could be really good. It would be hard to drop tempered, but if we keep a sniping meta where you're not quite fighting close quarters as often, then it's not as important to be able to plate quicker. So I don't know. We could be entering that type of meta too.
Yeah, I think right now it's not super relevant because of the plate shortage, I think. But once it becomes relevant, you're right. Another thing too, however, on the other hand, it depends how much of a Ghost meta we end up getting.
Yeah.
If good players start running Ghost, Bird's Eye would be quite good. If it's still mostly shitter fucks running Ghost, do I really need to know they're there? Like, I mean, they'll kill you sometimes, but the thing too is you have to be moving for Ghost to work. And we have had situations, by the way, where we pop a UAV, we see a guy in a house, and then on the next sweep, the guy is not in the house, and he didn't get away. He just like went from not moving to like, oh fuck, UAV, It started like Borpa spinning in the house, thinking we wouldn't know or whatever. And then we all just swarm him. And of course, it's one guy with Ghost, not moving, terrible player. We kill him, shoot his body, and then type 1v1 easily in the match chat, even though it was a 1v4, and they get very upset. So I think that's another thing that would depend. Like if a bunch of good players are running Ghost, then yeah, it's maybe Bird's Eye. But as far as what you guys should be running, once plates are fine, Ghost is definitely good. I think you definitely want to have a silencer if you're going to do that. You don't necessarily need to, but I feel like it's largely a wasted perk if you're not silenced. So keep that in mind, number one. Keep in mind you have to be moving for it to work. So if you're just literally standing still on a rooftop, it won't work. You got to be moving. To what degree? You can stay on a roof and stay ghosted the whole time. You don't have to be like traveling distance. You don't have to be like moving away from somewhere, but you have to be like moving your character. I don't know exactly how much, but your little arrow on your mini map will become less opaque. Yes. If you're moving enough to be off mini map, whatever. And then people with Bird's Eye will still see you. It's going to be another thing you need to remember. And that's about it, I think. However, also, UAVs are more expensive now. And people are not popping them as often as they used to be. So the thing with Ghost is, if there isn't a UAV up, you're getting just no benefit from it. And that feels bad to me. I don't know.
But on that same line, if there are less of them being popped, but also nobody's popping advanced. So if somebody does pop one, they're just not going to see you. Because, like, you know, these first two seasons of BO6 Warzone on Urzikstan, like every UAV would end up being an advanced UAV, or like last year too. True. So it's like it would always just be useless at that point. But since people are only popping one because that's all they can get, it also makes it really strong when they do pop one.
Yeah, true.
But this could quickly just not matter if people start running Bird's Eye too. So it all depends on. If everyone starts running Ghost, then a bunch of people are just going to swap to Bird's Eye, and then people are going to be like, well, I guess Ghost doesn't matter. Then they're going to get off of it. So hopefully we don't have a Ghost meta like in Warzone 1. I don't think we will.
Yeah.
But right now, tempered, just because you need plates.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So yeah, like right now, just run tempered. And you'll get all the benefits of tempered without really running it for all those reasons. You know, plating sooner is really good. You can repeak a fight sooner. And if you have the combo we've been talking about, you could be one shot, and with tempered, you plate once, your health starts regenning, you plate twice, you're now full plates and full health, way faster than you would be with other perks, because you have quick fix tempered combo, which is nuts. It's the fastest way to get to full health. So you can like re-challenge those fights way easier. And something, you know, good players will do is like, if I'm on a rooftop and I'm holding your bitch ass, a good player trying to rotate in on me will try to they'll try to down me, but if they don't get a down on me, they'll rip my shit. And as soon as I like peek off the ledge, they're like, okay, now's our chance. Let's move. If I'm running fucking restock and Ghost, it's going to be 20 minutes before I can check that angle again. But if I have tempered quick fix, one plate in, as soon as that happens, I'm back on the ledge. Second plate's going in while I'm scanning the area for movement like a snake, and they're not ready for that rechow that quickly. So they're like, oh fuck, this idiot re-peeked me. I just ripped him a second ago. He's got to be weak. They try shooting me again in the open. Wrong, bitch. I wasn't weak. I'm full health because I have the wombo combo. Slammed. Easy kill.
Yeah.
For example. So, I mean, there are good reasons to be running those things regardless. But for the plate shortage right now, especially, just run tempered easily. Okay, so there's your loadout. Now, a couple loadouts you should have. Your first one should be, if you're not sniping, a gunfighter class. for an 8 attachment AR. I think the AMAX benefits most from 8 attachments. Kilo benefits as well, but not as much. And then the Grau, same thing. It benefits, but not quite as much. But if you're running the AMAX especially, I think you really should just be using 8 attachments on it. It makes it so much easier to use because you can squeeze in a lot of extra recoil attachments. Vertical foregrip, recoil springs, compensator, whatever. And then you can also get, the extended mag, which you're going to want, an optic, which you're probably going to want, though not everyone runs one, because the irons are actually pretty good on it. Quick draw grip, ADS sooner, faster, rather, etc. If you're sniping, though, I've sniped a little bit. I've just been doing overkill because my HDR isn't max level. But I don't know how much an HDR or a car would benefit from 8 attachments. I suspect not very much, though. Because what do you really want on an HDR, for example? The scope is, the default one is not great, but it's good enough. So I'm running overpressured fire mod for Veloc. That's short for velocity, chat. Monolithic suppressor for Veloc, which is again short for velocity if you just got here. Gain twist barrel, more velocity. Probably fast mag. And then like lightweight bipod for aim idle sway. And I'm chilling. Like what else do I really want? Has that been your experience, or would you benefit from more attachments?
I think that's exactly what I'm running. No, fuck no. You don't need 8 attachments on an HDR at all. You're simply throwing if you're using fighter HDR. No reason for it at all, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're running that, it's easy. You just get overkill, and then you get an AK with 5 attachments, which is good enough for a close range, medium range, sniper support build.
Yes, exactly.
It's not ideal. It's got a lot of recoil, but it works for that setup.
It's got little enough recoil and fast enough handling that makes it more than sufficient as sniper support. That's been my experience. So yeah, okay. So we agree then. First loadout, if you're sniping, just get overkill. And then if anything, if you're going to get a second loadout while you're sniping, it's going to depend on the situation. We'll get into it. But you could just have another class set up that's like an 8 attachment sniper support AK. So a second, like a gunfighter class with an AK, build an 8 attachment sniper support AK. You can put everything you want on it. How much better would that be than a 5 attachment? Probably not too much, honestly, but you could do it. So yeah, but I think you really do want gunfighter with the AMAX, especially for your first loadout. Second loadout's going to depend a little bit. If you're sniping, again, you could get that 8 attachment AK. If you're sniping, you could just save it. We'll talk more about that. Or you could get battle ready, so you get yourself a quick little utility box, which is extremely useful because it has plates, ammo, and equipment. You're immediately fully stocked, ready to go. Which could be extra helpful if you're sniping and you don't plan on moving your character very much. Go to a rooftop, you've got full stuff and a util in your pocket. You live there. You don't have to move ever. So that can be really good. But if you're not sniping, again, have a battle ready loadout for a utility box. This is super good in a pinch. So like, oh, free loadie drops. None of us have plates. Okay, I'm going to hit this real quick. Get a 5 attachment gun that I can use as my secondary or drop for my teammate who just came back from Gulag. Whatever. Or I don't need it at all. I don't care. I'm literally just hitting this for a utility box. So now we have all full smokes, full plates, full ammo. Really good. Have that set up for sure. Or like if you buy back your teammate and you buy them a loadout, if you have a lot of money to do that, which we'll talk about why you should and how, again, you can loot this, get your battle ready loadout. Maybe you have both your guns already. So you're like, all right, Jake, what gun do you want? He's like, okay, well, I just came back from Gulag. I don't have shit. So I'm going to get on this loadout my gunfighter build. you get me a submachine gun. Cool. Battle ready submachine gun. Hope you like a 5 attachment C9, which he should. It's good enough. So then you hit that, you drop your C9, you drop your utility box. He goes from having a pistol to being completely fully set up. Both guns, full ammo, full plates, full equipment. Good shit. Have that class set up. But yeah, like if you're using like a gunfighter AMAX, what should your second loadout be? Assuming it's like just the second one you guys are all hitting. I think you should have a gunfighter SMG or secondary. But we'll talk about SMGs because some subs benefit a lot from 8 attachments. Compact, mostly. Because the compact has a lot of recoil, but it also has pretty slow sprint to fire or aim down sight speed. I think it's sprint to fire. So before, the reason you never really did this is because you were usually just buying your second gun from the buy station, and it would cost $6K if you bought an 8 attachment sub. But now that you can't buy guns, the only way you're getting your second gun is hitting second loadout. So there's no downside to building an 8 attachment gunfighter SMG. Compact benefits a fuck ton from this because it has a lot of recoil. You can squeeze in extra recoil attachments and sprint to fire attachments. PPSH, probably another one that benefits a lot from that. And then I think the AK maybe could too. I wrote that it would benefit a lot. I don't really know. Because I've used a 5 attachment one for sniper support and it was fine. So still, there's really no reason not to. Like if you don't need a utility box and this loadout's not going to be hittable again, you might as well hit it. You might as well get 3 more attachments on anything. So have that set up and have a battle ready class set up, and I think you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
So
yep, that's the strat.
Yeah. Bandolier is fucking useless now, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just delete it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, just get rid of the wild cards again because there's
get rid of the wild cards.
It's just so dumb. But yep.
Yeah. So anyway. Now
yeah, I
mean, strategy.
When you're sniping and you have overkill, it makes it easy because the second loadout or whenever you decide to hit a loadout again, you just have a battle ready class of whatever. It doesn't matter. Just so you get the utility box basically, and then you just pick your guns back up off the ground.
Yeah.
You're set. It's just a free utility box.
Exactly. And if you are always sniping and using an AK, you might as well build an 8 attachment AK on that class. Fuck it. But I mean, yeah, maybe there isn't a huge reason to. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of that.